Welcome back. Vice President JD Vance traveled to Minneapolis today, where he expressed support for federal immigration enforcement. Before arriving, he spoke in Toledo, Ohio, where he conceded that ICE has made some mistakes.
When the president says that that mistakes have been made, my thought on that is that, well, of course there have been mistakes made, because you're always going to have mistakes made in law enforcement. But the number one way where we could lower the mistakes that are happening, at least with our immigration enforcement, is to have local jurisdictions that are cooperating with us.
Camilo Montoya-Galvez is following all this for us. He joins us from the broadcast center in New York. Camilo, always great to see you. How do local officials in Minneapolis absorb, or how have they absorbed, this new tone from the vice president and the president about mistakes and some sorrow about some tactics in that city? And what's going on right now?
Well, it's a critical question, Major, because, as you know, Minneapolis has really become the epicenter of the country's contentious debate over immigration enforcement and the tactics that are being employed by Border Patrol and ICE. This is the largest Homeland Security operation in the department's history. About 3,000 Border Patrol and ICE officers are currently in the Minneapolis region, including St. Paul and also surrounding communities in Minneapolis and Minnesota. And that is the largest deployment by DHS in its history. It's also about 5 times the size of the Minneapolis Police Department that has about 600 sworn officers. So this is a highly visible operation that is triggering a lot of backlash, a lot of local opposition too, especially after the killing of Renee Good by an ICE officer earlier in January. So far, we have not seen the administration publicly reprimand or hold accountable ICE officers who have been accused of engaging in misconduct. But the president's and the vice president's remarks about some ICE agents making some mistakes really do illustrate that potentially the administration, Major, is looking at polling that does show that in recent months there has been significant erosion in support among the public for the president's mass deportation agenda, which was on a net basis very popular just a year ago, Major, as you know. But now there is increasing concern about who ICE is targeting, because people believe that they're not just targeting criminals and dangerous individuals, Major, but also how they're going about their work in cities like Minneapolis.
And some teens are getting ensnared by this. A 5-year-old child ensnared in this in Minneapolis. That's obviously generating tremendous curiosity on social media and intensifying the sense in some sectors of Minneapolis that this is too aggressive.
That's right, Major. And again, it undermines the administration's claim that ICE and Border Patrol agents are primarily going after people that the administration calls the worst of the worst, who are in the country illegally. Yes, ICE and Border Patrol are arresting some individuals who have serious violent convictions or charges in American judicial systems, but increasingly the administration is arresting individuals, including families with children, who only have civil immigration violations and have no criminal records in the U.S. That, again, undermines that claim that they're only going after the worst and the worst. But obviously, we do have to underscore that under U.S. immigration law, the administration does have the authority to go after anyone who is in the country illegally, irrespective of whether or not they're a criminal, Major.
And during the campaign, they made it abundantly clear, then candidate Trump and Tom Homan, who is going to be the incoming border czar, that that's exactly what they would do, that they would go after those in this country without proper immigration status and treat them as criminals in addition to others. Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you so much. I appreciate it.